All right. There we go. Okay. All right, we have started now. Let me make sure I've got everything where I want it. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right, so we got a little bit of delay, but that's not too terrible. Yeah, okay, let's put this right here. We'll pull this up. And then, okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, by the way. And pull up that chat window. There we go. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to basically just writing D&D stuff. So I'm happy you guys could join in. This is the wrong one. Okay. I need to correct a quick mistake and then I'll get started. But I just go ahead and fill you guys in with what's going on. Oh wait, I may not even need that. Oh yeah, I don't even need that. Okay. I'm still trying to figure out streaming to YouTube stuff. So let me put that right there. That's good. And then I can pull this up over here. There we go. Okay. So this, the one exclamation mark, because this one has the 3. Yeah. Okay. So this one needs to be deleted. All right. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry that took a little minute to get things going. But for those of you who may be watching afterwards, I am writing a D&D campaign for my youth group. And I need to make a spoiler-free zone, which is where I'm going to be spending my time working at the moment. There we go. Because I do have some students at the church that follow my YouTube channel. So let's make it bigger. There we go. And let's see how that looks. That looks good. Okay, so stop it. So I got my spoiler-free zone going on and whatnot. All right, so everything should be functioning properly now. I'm still trying to figure out how to do the live streaming to YouTube thing. The Twitch was pretty straightforward, but this is a little bit more convoluted. All right, so let me just make sure. Yep, we're good. Sweet. Okay, so as I've got everything set up now and I'm ready to get going, let's get these headphones out of the way. Don't need them. I am working on this campaign for them, and basically, the things that they're going to learn right away is I'm doing a very reduced version. So first, for churches, most churches, especially very traditional churches like ours, um, games like Dungeons and Dragons have a very negative perspective of them, especially because of the wizardry magic and there was a stigmatism passed around, and some of it was within reason, but it's not really so much anymore that D&D could be a gateway in towards demonic influence, and it's really not true, especially when you have actual Christians who are running it. And so I've got to shape the game in a way that the most traditional person in the church would be able to sit in on a session and be okay with it. So I am doing a very reduced version of D&D. I'm basically just taking some like tiny microscopic pieces of D&D and and what's that word? I'm taking microscopic pieces of D&D and putting them into this campaign. So one of the things that I'm doing is I am pretty much just going to have only a few of the races, if I even have more than just human. Um, like the most that I would end up doing, I think, would be um, humans, halflings, elves, and maybe dwarves. Like I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna go beyond that. Um, but for the time being, I'm pretty much just sticking to the very humanist, humanistic looking types of creatures, and I'm not really gonna go too far beyond that because tread carefully at the start. One other thing that I'm doing is magic is either going to be very limited or non-existent. So like one of the things this doesn't only have to do with the church. This is also a preference thing for me. I read an article not too long ago uh, about D&D, and it said that most people, or not most people, for most Dungeons and Dragons like campaigns and stuff within this world, magic is a little too common. And so the problem with there being magic all of the time, I actually kind of want to make my face a little bit bigger here. Let's. There we go. Um, so magic has become a little bit too common in the world of like Dungeons and Dragons and fantasy. And honestly, I kind of agree with that. I think that every movie is like everybody's got like this magical power, so much fantasy stuff. Like everybody's got a special ability. Everybody's a sorcerer or a warlock or something like that. And it's like, come on, y'all, it's too much. So and it kind of takes away its well, magic. It doesn't seem like fantastical anymore or special because like everybody can do it. So I don't really like that so much. So I'm reducing that down a little bit. Um, hmm. But up. There we go. Yeah, we don't need to see any message from girls for XYZ. All right. Um, so it's become a little bit too fantastical. So what I kind of want to do is reduce it down to the bare basics so that uh, people who've never experienced it before can, start to get their feet in just a little bit and enjoy it. Um, so it's doing very minimalistic, and I'll give you the basic story. The basic story that I'm working with is uh, there is going to be an enemy race. It's going to be orcs because orcs are very common within the fantasy world. It's obvious that they are they're seen as kind of the enemy, and thank you Tolkien. Most people, even people who are what's that word, who are very traditional, are okay with orcs being like enemies or whatnot. So I'm gonna have orcs be the enemies, and what's gonna happen is the players are gonna wake up and they're going to be they're going to be imprisoned in like a dark room area. All of them are going to be together for a moment, and then they're going to have this Orcan prison guard basically explain to them they've been taken prisoner and they're going to be used for sport now. They are going to be captured in the Colosseum, which is where the name of the campaign comes from, and they have to basically compete in a forced sport. Not only that, though, but they each Atomic, you do saddle. Our Greyhound Atomic is punishing us right now because we left him for 2 weeks at daycare, and he got real sad. And so now he's punishing us by laying down on the hard floor because that punishes us. I mean, it does. We feel bad for him. So they're going to wake up. They're going to be told what's happening to them. They're being captured. They're being used by this evil Orcan race to compete against each other. And the deal is that they have to stay imprisoned for until they get 10 victories. When their team gets 10 victories, they are then allowed to go free into the world. And they'll learn things along the way. There's going to be a twist with that specifically about going free after 10 victories. No, they're not dead, but there is something I'm going to have as a twist later on in the story. So that's the basic general idea. And then there is going to be like this fight against the system type of thing that happens later on. I don't want to get into that too much because I'm kind of just building some of the bare bones and making sure I've got the basic way that the game is played and the basic start, because we're going to be starting in the fourth Sunday of January. So I want to make sure I've at least got enough for the first campaign, the first session. So what I've got right now for the sport, I didn't want to come up with something that was, it needs to have an easy to understand goal like a lot of our sports in the States, but it needs to be different enough that they've got to figure it out. So I figured that the sport is placing a 3-foot, 10-pound ring on the other team's spire. Like they would have, like a traditional like field shape, maybe more of like an oval shape, and on each end is a tall spire, a tall 20-foot sharp spire, and they have to ascend up to it either by like a staircase or like these stepping pieces that like wobble and whatnot, and they have to be able to take that 10-pound ring and slide it over the spire so that it drops all the way to the ground. And there's going to be different things that people can do. Of course, they can fight and push each other off of the platforms and whatnot, but they can also use things like different objects to prevent the ring from sliding all the way to the bottom, even if it's on the spire, to where someone would have to remove or destroy said spire in order to get it to the bottom. So there's going to be multiple different layers to that, and I want to advance that even more because, especially in the beginning of it, that's going to be a lot of the action. A lot of the action in the beginning of the campaign is going to be them competing with each other. So I need to build that up, and that's going to be one of the things I'm working on. But there's also 3 different positions that the characters are going to be able to choose from. They're going to be able to choose a red wristband. Like it'll be presented to them before they actually step into the Coliseum. It'll be one of the things that they learn before they actually get thrust into the game itself. So we'll do this during episode 0. They can choose a red wristband, which is for the kitchen staff, and I'll have like little clues with it, like the red wristband will smell like potatoes and ground beef or something like that, but it'll be sticky. The green will be for the mechanic staff, so it'll have more of like a metallic, like a burnt metallic smell to it. And then there will be the black one, which will smell a lot like medical alcohol. And so that will be for the medical or corpse disposal, because, I mean, they're kidnapping people to shove them into a sport. They don't care if the characters die. And that's going to be part of the danger is people will die during said contest. So they'll have to choose one of the three of those, and then they'll get the explanation after they choose it as to what they picked. And so I have a chief orc that's going to be over each of those three groups. So like we've got Gregnog here. I wanted to pick some names that would be easy to remember, but or a little bit dumb. If I can't get at least one student to roll their eyes at me, am I even really a youth pastor? So Gregnog will be the chief warden orc. He'll be over pretty much all of it. He's kind of like the on-site manager. And so for him, I'm still kind of working out what I want his character to be. Because I want him to be tough but not care enough if like shenanigans are going on. Like you know when you got like a boss that will that will act like they're going to be the tough guy, but then they actually see something happening and they just kind of like brush it off and don't really care so much unless it's something like really really serious. I kind of want that to be the idea of Gregnog. He's going to be there, he's going to keep an eye on things, but he's also not really going to care. So let me see how I'm going to word that. Oh, I can take my caps lock off now. Talks tough, but here, let's change that. There we go. But doesn't care about doing his job well unless he will get in trouble. I move this closer. It's kind of in a gaming position for me. Unless there we go. Okay. I think that's a decent idea. And then I'm gonna need a little bit of help from you guys with Targan, a little bit more traditional fantasy name. I need a quality for him. I didn't really do sports very much growing up, so I want him to be kind of like a coach, but not really like a coach. I want him to be like to have like some of the attitudes that a coach would have, but to be a little bit more cruel-hearted than that. So I'm going to come back to Targan. Gregnog and Targan are going to be the ones that interact with all of the characters. And then the next three, Blurp, Tarek, and Lemigon, who they're just going to call Lem, they're going to be the ones that the characters interact with based on which wristband they choose. So, like, for example, Blurp, I'm going to be really excited for because he's going to be really stupid. He's going to be a surprisingly good chef, but he's going to be really, really stupid. And so, like, one of the things that I think head chef orc, he's going to be really, really stupid. Ah! Really, really stupid. Very oblivious, but violent if he witnesses a rule being broken. Okay, so at the moment, There's nobody tuning in. That's okay though. So for anyone who tunes in later, I might ask you. I might ask you if you might help me like create some physical qualities of some of these orcs. Now, honestly, here we go. Tarek, I am really interested in building up more. I'm very excited about Tarek. And I'm really excited about Tarek because I want him to be the one that's most on the side of the humans. Not necessarily that he is assisting, but he knows what's going on. He will discover like the plot to escape and whatnot, and he won't say anything. He won't necessarily like help, but he may not. And I like a lot of this I haven't decided yet, but at the moment I'm thinking that uh, he may not prevent them from escaping. All right, so let's see. How do I want to phrase this? Aha, most empathetic. Most empathetic of the orcs and might not prevent escape measures. Though won't directly help. Not so with that note, I think that I'm okay with him. I'm okay with him feeling like I'm okay with him not helping and feeling like if the other orcs discover the escape plan, that he will yeah. So yeah, his big thing is like he would rather be called incompetent than to be called a traitor. So like that's probably why he's not going to help directly. Maybe towards the end. I haven't decided yet. That's pretty far down the line. Um, but I know for at least the beginning of the campaign. Yo, what's up? Who's here? Who's here? Emerson, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. All right, do you got an idea of what I'm doing right now? Because I'm writing a D&D campaign for my youth group, and I am currently just kind of like buffing up a couple of areas here and there. You make sure, yeah, I'm still streaming the way I want to. So right now we're in kind of the spoiler-free zone. All right, so just a moment ago I was yeah, oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited about it as well. And maybe I haven't decided yet, but maybe, 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 if it goes over well enough, I might recruit Jeb and my siblings to play it for the channel. I haven't decided. I haven't decided, but we'll see how it goes. So just to give a general idea of like what it's going to be, and you can let me know what you think about it. the players are all they're going to wake up in a dark transportation vehicle, and when they wake up, they're going to be told that they're being taken to be forced to play in a coliseum in basically this sport, and that if they get 10 wins, if their team wins 10 times, they're allowed to go free. Um, but they're going to find out, it is pretty frequent that the humans that are captured end up dying. And so I'm keeping y'all just in the spoiler free zone because there's a big twist at the end, uh, which is going to make it a lot more relevant. But this is the spoiler free zone where you can learn about things that are going on, and I'm really early on in it, and I really just want to get episode 0 and I want to get session 0 and session 1 planned out entirely, and a general idea of where the story is going, so I can write it as I go. Let's see. So right now I'm just kind of beefing up the main villains. And let's see. I really think I want to get something for Targan down. Targan, who's the one that really trains them and teaches them how to play the game, and whips them into shape if they lose, throws parties for them if they win. Because right now, of all of the orcs, he's the one that I've kind of developed the least. And I need, because he's going to be a very important one. The other three down here, Blurp, Tarek, and Lemigon, are oh, awesome, dude. Thank you. Welcome, peoples. Welcome. All right, so thank you for telling people I was live. So the three of them are going to be they're gonna deal directly with like the choices that the characters make at the very beginning on as for which wristband that they choose. I've really got nothing on Targan. I might get you guys to help me out a little bit with Targan. In the meantime, which one should I develop first? Should I develop Blurp, the chef, Tarek, the medical head, or Lem, the maintenance guy? I need to do one of the three of those, and I can do one of the three of those. So you guys pick which of the three of those should I work on first. I have their most basic qualities picked out. Hey, welcome, John Peter. How you doing? Um, I should work on Lemigon first. Okay. I think I'm going to enjoy doing Lemigon the most when I'm, in the game when I'm playing the character. I think I'm going to enjoy Lemigon the most. Hey, John Peter, my biggest fan. Welcome. Well, you might not. I got one that's you got one fan to compete with, so prove it. I tell you what, you prove it to me, I will call you my biggest fan. Okay, you prove it to me. I'll let you test it out there. All right, so let's work on Lemigon for a minute. Okay, you're better. Okay, gotcha. All right, you might be. We'll see. All right. So for Lemigon, all right, he needs to have one disgusting quality about him. I want each of these characters to have a disgusting, like obscure quality about their physical appearances. What should Lemigon's be? Like something that when the characters walk in the room, it's the first thing that they notice. What would you guys say is the thing that they should notice when they first walk in and they see Lem? He's going to be the maintenance guy, so he's always working with like heavy metals and whatnot and heavy machinery. It could be something with an accident. It could be like a genetic defect or something. Cross eyes. Um, I think crossed eyes would work. That would be really. Ooh. Okay. I got it. Okay. He always holds things really close to his face because he's always a little bit cross-eyed. Okay. So no matter what he's working on, he always has to hold it like if he's working on, let's say, an electrical panel, he's always got to hold it like right here because that's the only way that he can focus on it. Okay, I like that. All right, John Peter, that one goes to you. That goes to you, my you are my biggest fan, aren't you? You are. You know it. You knew it. I just had to learn it, but you know it. Okay. I love that. Okay. All right, so he is severely uh cross-eyed. That is not how you spell cross-eyed. There we go. It is how you spell it. It's just mushed together. Okay. Severely cross-eyed and has to hold things directly in front of his face to see clearly. Man, I need to see if I can get Miss Bradshaw to make me a typing club account. I could sure use it. All right. And also this can go with that. He can have a set of like not necessarily like bifocals, but like adjusted lenses. Yeah, Miss Bradshaw's cool. He'll have like some like adjusted lenses that he has to put on that'll let him see distances clearly, but they have to sit like really far away from his face. So that way he can like see things far away, but he can't. No, I will not be subbing anymore before Christmas break. Sorry, guys. I'll see you in the new year, though, because I will be subbing in the new year at least once a week if the jobs are available. So yeah, so he can see far distances with a special set of lenses. What do I think about Kanye? I can do that while I'm typing this. I think that Kanye really needs help right now. I don't think that he's thinking, and I'll grant you, he's a rapper, and um, and oftentimes like drug and alcohol abuse are very common in the entertainment industry, especially in rap circles. And I think that any any mental illnesses that he might have had are just being amplified by the environment he's in. And so what I think we're seeing right now is he's just kind of responding to whatever's around him. I don't think that he actually knows anything about Hitler. I really don't. I don't think he knows anything about Hitler. I don't think he knows anything about World War II or history. I think that he's surrounded himself by people like Milo Yiannopoulos and Nick Fuentes, and they're really influencing him. I had a student in my youth group who had bipolar symptoms, and not symptoms, but who was bipolar, and his he was a pretty level-headed guy, but when you yeah, he did make, I know he made graduation. Um and his problem is like he could think clearly when he wasn't manic, but when he was manic he'd say things that he would never say uh in a healthy state of mind. And that period of time can last a long time, especially if you're not taking medication, if you're not managing symptoms. And I'm afraid that's kind of what's happening with Kanye right now. He's surrounded himself with people that won't help him, but that are going to use him as a revenge tool. Milo's a very vengeful person, and Nick Fuentes is a very destructive person. He's just out there to destroy things, and so I think that they're using Kanye in a fragile state of mind to push their agenda. So that's what I think about Kanye. All right, let's get back to this. All right, so he can see far distances with a special set of lenses, but they stick out about a foot. So that way, okay, so what that does is it allows him to see things far away, but he can't necessarily work on things very well. Where are my dogs? They're back here. You can maybe see Atomic. Atomic! What's you got? Goose is up here somewhere. I don't think you guys can see Atomic super well. You can see his head a little bit. Hello, buddy. Hello. They're both here. All right, so let's see. So yeah, that way he can see things at a far distance if he's wearing them, but that doesn't mean that he can work on them because I mean, like, who's going to work on something like way out here? So if they're sticking about a foot away from his face, then it's not going to be very helpful. That gives him a very good little quirk about him that people will notice right away. All right, let's see what else. He's going to have a Scottish accent. I can't help it. Star Trek ruined us for that. Every mechanic is Scottish. Okay? I'm gonna put that in here. There we go. Every mechanic is Scottish. Okay, so we've got that. We've got his accent. Now I need to figure out some other things about him. He's going to be a big practical jokes guy. There we go. That should be pretty fun because that gives them something to interact with, and like they can pick on him and enjoy picking on him, and he'll have fun with it until they start doing something against the rules. In which case, as we see, he'll report any suspicious behavior, no matter who it is or no matter how small of a deal it is. So if he can tell it's a practical joke, then he's not going to make a big deal about it. But if he can sense that something is up, he'll report it. Now, I think that his character's still missing something because that's good for like a base character, but the mechanic group is going to see him very frequently, so he needs something else. He needs something else in his character. All right, we're gonna put a pause on Lem for a little bit, and I think we need to. All right. Do you guys want to do the spoiler section? You guys want to work some in the spoiler section? I'll ask you guys because there's a chance, depending on how this goes, that I might bring this to either this channel or to my other channel. Which, by the way, if you haven't checked out Mongoose Productions, that was my first YouTube channel. You should check that out because we still put stuff out, and you can see the podcast that I do with Jeb. You know, the guy that I'm in a race to 1,000 subscribers with. We have a podcast we do together called Men Who Talk Through Movies. Most fun ever. So Mongoose Productions. It's got like it's a white profile picture with an M and a P connected to it. Here, I can actually go over here to YouTube and I can post the I can. Hey. There we go. Sorry, it was being dumb. Because there's another Mongoose Productions on here that is not us. There we go. Let me copy this, and I'll post it here. There we go. So that's the one that's us. And there is a podcast version of it as well. You can look it up on Spotify and listen to it on the road. The most recent one that we did for Transformers Dark of the Moon, that was the most fun podcast that we've done. All right, anyways. But I ask you guys, do you want to risk knowing something about the later story if this goes to because I think I would put it on the Mongoose Productions channel. If this goes to the Mongoose Productions channel eventually, do you want to work with me on the spoilery stuff, or would you rather stay working here and develop some non-spoilery characters or events and stuff? I leave that up to you at the moment. Let me. You want to do the spoilers? Okay, that's fine. Let me finish this note, and then we'll work on some spoilers stuff. All right, cool. You guys rock, by the way. You guys are biggest fans. You know what? You guys deserve some props on this. You guys deserve some props. All right. And I want everybody to know, everybody who's been listening, okay? We are 40 minutes in. Everybody needs to know John and Emerson are my biggest fans, okay? You got to know that. They've been here the whole time. They've been chatting. They've been helping. They're my biggest fans. All right, so we will work on spoiler stuff now. All right, they will be told to choose their bands before explanations are given. Okay. All right. Are you going to clip it and make it into a... You're going to clip it and make it into a short, aren't you? Is that what you're going to do? I don't mind. John and Emerson are my biggest fans. I knew it. I knew you would. Is that good, or do you need me to say it again? John and Emerson are my biggest fans. All right, enjoy. Enjoy, my friend. Enjoy. Okay, so scroll up to the spoilery stuff. Now, I am not going to show you the ending, but I will tell you the part of the story that I'm really wanting to develop and make solid. So, and for anybody in my youth group, this is spoiler zone. Past this is the point of no return. If you want to be surprised, and the game's going to be best if you are surprised, turn away now. All right, so you know how I said the part about how if their team, when they're on their teams and they're playing the sport, if their team wins 10 times, they get to go free. Well, here's the thing. Go free doesn't mean what you would think it would mean. You get to live in freedom, but your freedom is very limited. There are only certain jobs that you can have. There's only a certain place that you can live, and it's going to be the most rundown part of the world. Okay, so like for example, they're gonna be sent out on a short trip because some of their other humans from another camp were sick or something. There's going to be something that comes up that prevents one group because occasionally they have to go out into the real world just outside of the Coliseum to do some different jobs. And they're told that they have to do this special task for this one group that wasn't able to do it. And so what happens is they're doing like street cleanup, some like basic, low level things. And it's going to be really close to where the freed humans are. And so they're going to get to meet some of the freed humans and get to see what their world is like. And so they see that they are in their freedom. They have to live in the most filthy part of town that is only cleaned by other freed humans, or if there's something like a road that is just completely undrivable, period, then the captive humans are sent to fix it. Other than that, orcs don't step anywhere inside there. So it's filled with a lot of crime. It's filled with a lot of sicknesses. If a plague hits, it nearly wipes out almost everybody in the freed community. And I want them to meet a character. I want them to meet a character who basically tells them what it is they're really fighting for, and how it's still really dismal. Memphis, yes, it is Memphis. How did you know it was Memphis? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, so I think I want it to be. Should it be an old dude or an old guy? Choose Donovan. Who's Donovan? Donovan who? Um, let's see. I want it to definitely be an older person, not like an ancient, decrepit 80-year-old, but like someone in like their 60s that looks like they're in. It's a cool name. Okay. Ooh, Donovan, and he'll tell them to just call him Donnie. Okay. All right. So Donovan. And he's black. He's black, so it adds diversity. uh, let's see. How did I format that? Ah, okay. Donovan. Um, 60-year-old. Freedman. All right, he needs to have some qualities about him that are going to stick out to them. So like there needs to be something about him that's going to draw the characters in, where they're like they want to get to know him. Hello, welcome. We're having a good time here. How you doing? You were in a computer class? Cool. Well, howdy do. Glad you could make it. All right. He's a thief of, and he steals stuff. He's a thief of cheese. Gotcha. I did say that it's going to be a very crime-ridden area, so ooh, I've got it. I've got it. Okay. Okay. All right. Good call there, John. So okay. So he's going to steal something. And what the something is will probably be determined by the players. What is D&D? D&D is short for Dungeons and Dragons, and basically it's an interactive storytelling game. So like the game master, so that would be me, is in control of the story. Um, and controls all of the characters that, the players aren't playing. And all of the other people have characters that they play and interact with and control within the world. So, like, for example, let's say I'm trying to think of a way to explain it that makes sense. Basically, I'm telling a story and I allow everyone else to be a part of it. Like, for example, if I say that the two of you were coming across a road and you guys have to choose whether or not to cross the street right away or to look both ways before crossing the street. Then you'd roll a dice to tell you, like, well, do you check both ways, or yeah, like roll for checking both ways. And if you roll like a 15, oh, you check both ways and everything looks good. Oh, you rolled a 1, well, sorry, you decided not to look both ways and you tried to cross the street. You got hit by a truck, bounced off the truck into the other lane of traffic, in which case you got hit by a Porsche and that sent you flying the other direction, and then you got landed right in the middle of the road where your head and your feet are constantly getting run over and over and over and over again. That's D&D. So I'm making a campaign. Steal something from the players, and that would probably be determined uh by the players themselves as to what they might have on them. But when he steals something from them, he's going to be so weak and so malnourished that he's just going to collapse. Yeah, and like, okay, so and like his back will be turned to them, so like he grabs and he starts to like run away, but then he's just going to stumble over his own feet, fall down, and then when they come to get the item back from him, they're going to look at him and he's just going to be so starved that his face is going to be sunken in, and that'll give him an opportunity to like beg for food or something. And I'll probably do something where like they're required to take like a lunch with them and they can split it with them or something, and then that's how they learn about the free world. How does that sound? What do you think about that? Excuse me. I think I think I'm happy with it, but um if that doesn't sound interesting, I can come up with something else, but I want to make sure that sounds interesting enough. Let me type it down for right now. That sounds good? Okay, good. All right. But trips over himself and falls. Just yeah. Um as he begs for food. There we go. And that'll be a good point for me to be a little bit more serious, because I do want to use it as a time, like for example with this channel. Who all is here? Oh heck, there's 4 of y'all. What's up, people? How you doing? Holla back, who's here? All right. So, um but this will give me a chance to do kind of what my whole purpose is with the things I do on YouTube and the things that I do in like podcasting and stuff like that. My purpose in pretty much everything I do online is I want to show people how their faith intersects um with the rest of the world. Like part of my big problem is people oftentimes I think they do it unconsciously, but I think that people oftentimes, yo, what's up? Um, I think that people oftentimes kind of treat their faith as separate from the rest of the world, and I find that really sad because, like, the things that we believe really influence everything else we do. Like one of the first things I said when I originally started podcasting is I I said that the two most important questions that you could ask in life is yo, what's up, dude? Zach, how you doing? Hey guys, this guy's Zach down here from What Your Pastor Didn't Tell You. Go check out his channel. He has some really good conversations with a bunch of other Christians. He's got a great channel. How you doing, my friend? I'm glad you could join. We are talking about a D&D campaign that I'm making to show my students how their faith intersects with real life. You just got married? Dude, that's awesome! Congratulations, dude! I'm so happy for you. And man, I knew you were going out with the girl, but hey, I'm super happy for you. Yeah, we're gonna have to catch up sometime soon because it's been a while since we've actually been able to talk and whatnot. All right, so where was it? Where was it going with that? Yeah, so what I want to do with this section right here is I want them to see like what the orcs mean by free does not necessarily mean D&D is short for Dungeons and Dragons. I did an explanation earlier in the video. I'm gonna get through this part, and then if you want an explanation, I can give a short explanation. But I want them to see that what the orcs mean by free is not necessarily what freedom is, and how. Okay, you got it. Okay, good. And how sometimes people can twist words and twist meanings to say something that doesn't necessarily live up to that word. Like, kind of how like some people will say I'm a Christian, but they don't necessarily understand what Christian really means, and so they just use this word and this lifestyle to say something that doesn't apply to Christianity. And that's kind of like the idea I'm pressing. I don't want to be overt with it. I want it to be kind of like a hidden thing. Not hidden, but like I find that the art of discovery is the best way that people learn. And so I want them to like discover the message that's hidden. And so that's one of the messages that I think I want to be hidden here is how the word freedom is being used, but it's not the freedom that the word actually means. It's freedom that these orcan creatures allow. And that gives us a chance to talk about other things as well, because Donovan is going to be a very cynical. Let me put that in here. He's going to be very cynical. He's going to be very cynical. I don't know what else I'm going to do with it. I feel like he needs another defining trait, something that sets him apart. Because I don't want him to just be like a random character that's plugged in to just say a couple of different lines. Like I want them to be able to see Donovan as the face of why they're trying to escape and why they're trying to not live within this corrupted system. Why they want things to be different. So he needs something more than just being cynical and starved. Okay, he's cynical, but unwilling to change his situation. Because that's true of a lot of people. A lot of people are willing to live in the situation that they're in. I think I want Donovan to kind of be like the face of that, where they can look at him and they can be like, I don't want to live like that. I want a different life for myself than just being content living in nothingness. So he's gonna be unwilling to change his situation. And I think he's gonna be working in like heavy machinery and stuff like that. So he's gonna have some kind of major injury. I'll let you guys decide what type of major injury should he have. Should it be something to his face, to his hands, to a leg? Should he have like a collapsed lung? What sort of like serious injury should he get or have had in the past from the work that he does in the free world? Something that the characters would see and that I would be able to incorporate as like and be able to use it as like painting a more of a picture. It needs to be something that's severe enough that he's kind of crippled by it. One eye? Okay. I can do one eye. But I think if I do one eye, I think I want it to be a little bit more extensive. So on top of only having one eye, what else should there be? Should there be something else to his face, or should it be his eye and a hand? Something like that. I mean, having one eye. What am I talking? Having one eye is like a big deal. But I think there needs to be I think it needs to be like really severe to where it's like, oh, he's in bad shape because he's so hurt that he can't work anymore. I almost kind of one-eyed and 8 fingers. Okay. Let's say it's all on the same side too. Okay, so one eye and 8 fingers. Good. All right, Emerson, I can work with that. So let's say, let's see, due to a major mechanical accident. Yeah. His right eye. His right eye. And right. And his right middle finger. It's the way he flips people off. There we go. Okay. I think I can work with that. I think that's enough for me to be able to work with, because that can help be part of what makes him so cynical and why he's so unwilling to fight is partially because there's really only so much that he can do. I can make something out of that. Let me turn this a little bit away from me because that's bright. There we go. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I think I'm probably... Okay, let's officially type it out because I have it in my head, but let's put down on paper what the free world looks like, at least a couple of things, and then after that we'll call it quits for the day. All right, so the free world. The free world is very run down. with lots of crime and disease. Haha, I spelt that on the first try. All right. And I can, oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. Okay. Did it fix it? Did it fix it? Did it fix it? Yeah, I fixed it. All right. So now let's, all right. A lot of crime and disease. Most homes have major structural issues. I also want to give like the idea that like what we think of as American poverty is not really poverty. I mean, like, yes, there are people who need help, and we don't deny that. But in terms of like American poverty versus world poverty is a lot worse than what we think of as American poverty. Um, because American poverty, you can still get a smartphone. You still have plenty to eat. A lot of poor people are very overweight. Like there's that, it's still very livable. But in other areas of the world, poverty means working 15 hours a day so that your kids and yourself can have enough to eat that you don't die. It's still a fight for survival. And I want that to kind of be like the idea. Most homes have major structural issues. Most work days are 12/7 mandatory hours. Food is limited to, let's say, it's got to be something that's cheap and easy to come by.
Excuse you, boys.
I'll come back to the food because I can't think of it off the top of my head. And right now, I just want to get the things that are like on the top of my head right now. Most everyone has at least one major illness or disease. And one other thing that they're going to find out is that Donovan is the oldest and longest surviving free man. And freed people usually only live 10 years after release. All right. Okay. I think I'm happy-ish with that. I think that gives me enough to work off of at the moment. Okay. I think that's good. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here for now. But hey, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Just a quick shout out to everybody who jumped in to the chat. Emerson and John and TX Indra and Taylor and of course Zach. How you doing? I want to thank you guys for tuning in. This has been fun. And hey, if you guys want to do this again, like I love writing and I love writing with people. I love to share stuff. So if you guys want, we can do this again another time. Does that sound good? And I'm pretty happy with the work that I've got at this point. I think I've got it well enough to a point that I could do. Oh, let me also write down. We're also going to do milestone / event level ups. Okay. And what I'm also going to do is so players can choose either 3 XP or 1 XP and a skill. Yeah, because that's the part that I'm excited about doing that as well, because we have a student that is really into D&D. Which reminds me, after this I need to text the student's mom and ask if he needs a ride on Sunday night to our Christmas party. Okay, so that's where I'm going to stop it. I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in. You guys have been great. This was a lot of fun. I think we'll do more of these in the future. So for right now, you guys take care. I'll see y'all later. Bye.